It's just another opportunity for us. That's been my approach on it. Um, we got a lot that we can learn from this past week. We know we're playing a really good team. It's a new team, and we're a new team. But just approaching it with that mentality and just taking really a day at a time with our preparation.
You get extra excited for going up against Patrick Mahomes, someone that's viewed as, if not the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You faced him before. Does that get you extra up for a game like
It's
this?
just another opportunity. I look at it as another opportunity. Looking inward and just focusing on the things that we can build on as a team. As I said last week, there are a lot of opportunities to grow from. We're playing a new team. We're a new team, and we just want to approach it with that. Be diligent every single day in our prep.
I know it's just one game, but do they look any different than the Chiefs that you've become accustomed to, having seen them so much over the last 3 or 4 years?
It's a different team. It's a different team. They have their leaders, and they've always had their core, and they've always been, real renowned for being disruptive and then playing and being able to score the ball and just playing really good team football. And so it's a real respected organization.
It's a tough stadium. It's known as a tough stadium to play in. You were there 2 years ago and you won. Anything you can learn from going there? Any valuable takeaway from playing there already?
I think the most important thing when you go into, any game and any hostile environment is just to have great communication and really come together and being on the same page. And when we do that, so we're all aligned when we're out there on the field. So gotta play with good urgency.
Nick was talking about the experience of watching the tape from the Super Bowl and saying that there's an emotional element when he gets to a big play like the dagger, but he can separate that from the business at hand. What's that experience like for you when you're going back and reviewing the film in preparation for this game?
And you're watching it with the purpose of trying to learn and prepare for the game that's to come.
In the post-game comments you had, and then in the post-game speech too, you specifically mentioned discipline a few times. Oh, is that on-field discipline? Is it throughout the week? What were you referring to specifically?
Discipline is discipline, right? A hit dog, a holler. So however it hits you, that's what it applies to. I think there are elements in our preparation that we can be disciplined on. I think we could have a next level of obedience in doing that, and that's just a challenge. That's not that's not necessarily a call out. It's more so a challenge of, man, when we play disciplined football, when we have discipline when we're disciplined in our preparation, when we have great attention to detail, we can go out there and be confident that good things will happen. And so, overall discipline, overall focus, that's a lot of the game, and that's it's important.
Kevin Batul mentioned that he felt like a Monday review of the film was positive and going over what may have gone wrong. What kind of conversations did you have with AJ and Devontae after that in terms of getting them more involved?
As an offense, we just came back and said we want to go out there and play efficient football, and we want to be all in on the collective.
You've talked before about the process of finding the identity for this for each offense each year. I guess how have your past experiences informed this experience you're going through now?
Say that again.
The search for the offensive identity.
Yeah.
Of the last few years, you've talked about how that process has gone for you in the past. I guess how do those past experiences inform this year?
It's the same approach. It's the same approach. It comes as it comes, right? But you have to embrace, the process. You have to go throughout the process and just remain diligent in it. Have a calmness about yourself and be patient. Let all these things come to you. And I think as a quarterback, that's very important when you're talking about an identity, because you got to go out there and just execute things and really play the game and play the position. And so that goes a lot into being aligned with KP, as there isn't really an identity, as we try and establish that identity, I'd say, for better words, and just roll and play football, play team football.
If I can bring you back to your first two games in 22, it was a quiet game for Devontae week 1, and he had the most yards of his career week 2. Was that a deliberate effort on your part, on the offense's part, for Devontae to have that type of game?
Deliberate by me, I wouldn't say, but I think the ball has its way of finding you when it comes. You know, I think it's just about making the opportunity, taking advantage of the opportunity. You know, those things happen, and the more you can just set your eyes on the collective of trying to go out there and win ball games, those things fall into place as they're supposed to. And so that's the approach.
Talked a lot about the unknowns going into the Cowboys game and after it. It seems like they blitzed you guys a lot from the edge in the second half. Was that just, and you guys struggled with it a little bit, was that just a product of not seeing that on film?
I think there's a sense of unknown, and even when you think you know, you really don't know. So it comes down to preparation ultimately, but that's a credit to them. And I think again, it's going to come down to communication on our end, being on the same page and being aligned and playing team football.
When you're playing a team that's trying to get their get back, I guess is the best way to put it. Having been on both sides of that, what have you learned about what's important in terms of being able to match energy and be able to tackle that?
You just want to make it about the things you can control. Truly make it about the things you can control. We can go out there and control our preparation daily, control our effort, control our discipline and the things, and have that right focus and have confidence in our preparation, go out there and play. And we're just trying to make it about that.
5 years starting now, do you feel like you've seen everything that defense can throw at you? Are you playing smarter, would you say, because of that 5 years, not forcing anything?
I'll always say there's always room to grow. There's always more to see. And I'm a sponge, and I'm very diligent and humble in that, trying to learn as much as I can from all the different coaches that I've had and really assess and be able to self-correct even on terms of seeing some of the things that I've seen and looking at them and learning from the good and the bad. And so it's just a journey, man. You never stop learning. You know, I haven't arrived in terms of seeing it all, so I wouldn't say that.
Does the same concept apply to coaches you face against? You know, for instance, when you face a Steve Spagnuolo defense, it's your fifth time doing this now. Do you catalog, you know, got game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, so you have those notes, if you will?
I mean, you have all those things to have for reference. You know, definitely keep those things in the office while understanding that the game changes and the game evolves and teams change. And so, you know, overall, you know, you're dealing with someone that is very, very high IQ at a game of football, and he calls it that way, and he coaches it that way, and that's something that jumps out on the tape. And so got a lot of respect for him.
Having a couple of standout receivers that are more focused on the collective, what's the importance of that, and where do you think it comes from?
Say that again?
Having a couple standout receivers in AJ and Devontae who are more focused on the collective, what's the importance of that, and where do you think it comes from?
I think that's a question for them. Ultimately, you know, it is about the team.
You've got a good chemistry with Calcaterra through the years here. How are things coming with Granson in the summer training camp?
Yeah, Grant's one that's always, he's always been knocking on the door, trying to get the work in the summertime and build that rapport and get to work and, you know, put a lot of hours in here. So he's always been in a great place.
As far as running, how's it different when it's a design run versus a scramble?
I mean, one's designed and one kind of just happens.
Is it the presentation of the defense? Do you run different in those situations?
I think one's designed, and then one is, you know, you're going through with the intent to push the ball down the field, make plays in the pass game, and it happens. You know, kind of happens naturally. So
You've done a very good job.
With the Jalen Carter incident, it's now been a few days. You guys are back here. Have you spoken to him, and as a leader of the team, is this something where you feel a need to speak up on it about, you mentioned discipline, and have you talked to him or the team about it?
no, I've already expressed my comments on it, and to you guys, I've already expressed my comments on it. I've already had that conversation with him, and so we turned the page on that, and we're onward and forward to, you know, this opportunity we have this week.